It didn't even take a full day after it was revealed that Tim Tebow would be making his return to the NFL to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. For people to start ridiculing this move, as well as call this situation an example of white privilege, immediately throwing Colin Kaepernick's name into the mix. Before I get started, I already know that this video could lead to me getting a lot of heat, and some of you may even unsubscribe or may not even subscribe anyway if you haven't already. That's cool. One thing about me that you'll find is that I don't dance around my opinions, and I'll give it to you straight every time from my perspective. And I'm not saying that my perspective is the right perspective, for everyone. But it is the right one for me, and that's where I'm at. So let's get into this. First off, this is an apples to oranges situation, guys. This is not even remotely the same situation. Tim Tebow is signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars on the veterans minimum, which to NFL standards is chunk change, so that he can try out as a tight end. Now, I'm not even going to get into that much, into the narrow-mindedness of the critics here. I'm just going to say that if Tim Tebow makes the team, he will probably only be a tight end and name only, and would likely contribute in a similar way as Taysom Hill for the Saints. Do any of you really find that to be far-fetched to believe that he could pull off a role like that for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I've always said that I believe that he could be Taysom Hill before Taysom Hill. There's not many athletes that could pull a role for a team off like that, or would even want to. But I believe that Tim Tebow could actually pull it off. I really do. I think he could do it for sure. But that's what this opportunity is. That's what this opportunity is all about. Is him trying to prove that he has value to this football team, that he can add value to this football team. Also, don't hate on the man for having a connection to his former college head coach, Urban Meyer, and using that connection. You would not bash a person in everyday life for using connections to get a job, would you? As for Colin Kaepernick, let me ask you all this. How many opportunities did the man have to get a job, but turn them down because he felt like he deserved more money? The Denver Broncos offered him a contract. The Baltimore Ravens offered him a contract. The Seattle Seahawks were interested. He turned them all down because they would not give him starting quarterback money, or at least starting quarterback money at the time. Something he felt that he deserved coming off of a disastrous season where he played so terrible that he got benched for Blaine Gabbert. Just saying. Not to mention, he created a lot of problems for the NFL. And look, I'm not going to get into all that. This is a politics-free channel, all right? And I'm not going to take a side here. But the point is that he had opportunities and he passed them up. That's on him. I'm sure had he been willing to sign a deal on the veterans minimum like Tebow is doing and prove his worth after his last mediocre showing, then I'm sure he would have gotten a chance and maybe he would have become a starter again and made more money. Colin Kaepernick, despite what a lot of his critics will say, he is not a bad quarterback, or at least he wasn't. But he was on a very bad team that, quite frankly, he didn't have the talent to elevate. He's just not that good of a quarterback. He needs the situation to be great around him in order for him to be great. Otherwise, he looks average at best. That could be said for a lot of starting quarterbacks playing today. But he was being asked to prove himself, and he felt that he didn't need to prove himself, and that he was worth, at the time, middle-of-the-road starting quarterback money. And yes, stirring up drama did not help his situation, and neither did calling out NFL owners directly. Whether he was right or wrong for that, you be the judge. Also, Kaepernick did get an opportunity a couple of years ago to audition in front of all 32 teams, and he did not show up. Instead, he canceled last minute and went to a local high school in Atlanta where he recorded his workout. Basically, he wanted everything to be on his terms. But by doing that, it's safe to say that he ruffled a lot of feathers. So I spent more time in this video talking about Colin Kaepernick, but that's because I already made a video talking in detail about Tim Tebow. But this situation is not the same. It's not an example of white privilege. And I'm not saying that white privilege doesn't exist, nor am I saying that it does. It doesn't matter what I think politically, as it has nothing to do with my overall opinion. But again, this is not the same situation. If Kaepernick really wants back in the NFL, then he should be willing to do what Tebow is doing and basically sign a veteran's minimum contract and prove himself. If a team still doesn't want to give him a chance after that, then look, shame on them. But I think the ball's in his court on that one. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks a lot for watching. I know this is a touchy subject and that some of you may have some harsh opinions and some may take issue with things that I've said. That's fine. My goal was to be as neutral as possible and to give an unbiased analysis on this subject. I don't know if neutral is good enough, though. Anyways, if you like this video, please do consider hitting me with a thumbs up. And do please subscribe for future football content. Thanks a lot. I'm Blake. Have a good one.